It's nearly been a year that I've been doing YouTube, and my first video was Premier League predictions for the season just gone. I've got the Premier League table in front of me. We've got the clips from my first ever video, the fucking awful video where I used to talk over gameplay for a couple of videos, and I realised that was a bad idea. Yeah, because I'm already in the process of editing this video, I think I know how awful these are. So let's get into the video. And let's get into it. At 20th, I think Brentford will finish 20th because I think they try and play a bit. They're going to try and play a bit too expansive. At 20th, I said Brentford. Brentford. Oh my lord. Brentford ended up finishing 13th. I was 7 places off. I said because they play too expansive. And I based it off a fucking pre-season friendly against West Ham where they didn't even have their strongest team, and neither did we. I don't know why I did this, because I also watched them in the playoffs as well, and usually I get a good gauge of what players and teams are like when I watch the playoffs. And yeah, they were able to switch it up this year. They beat Arsenal. They drew with Liverpool. They beat Chelsea. I mean, they did the double over us, but a lot of teams did. I thought teams would pepper them because they play expansive football, but they switched it up. They went a bit more rigid. People criticising Ivan Toney because of their style of, because of some of his performances. Sometimes the style of play changes. You've seen in the back end of this season that as soon as Eriksen comes, they play a bit more expansive, and it benefits Ivan Toney more. Ivan Toney killed it this season. Eriksen was a great signing. Christopher Ayer is a good signing. Ethan Pinnock is actually a decent centre back. He's gone under the radar. David Raya can make some mistakes with his distribution, but I think he is actually quite good. Brian Mbeumo, a good season. Yoa Wissa was not just a super sub. He did well when he started a few games as well. Brentford have done well. And yeah, hope they keep going in the Premier League, because when you do your first season in the Premier League for a long time, teams tend to struggle in the second season. So hopefully they can keep progressing. That would be great. That would be great for the Premier League, in my opinion. But at 19th, Norwich are going straight back down, in my opinion. At 19th, I said Norwich. I said Norwich will go straight back down. 19th, Norwich. They came 20th. Surely I should have some bit more common sense to predict Norwich 20th. Why did I predict Norwich 20th? I do not know. I thought everyone was overrating Brentford, so I put Norwich 19th. Norwich are a yo-yo club. We know what Norwich are like. Not much needs to be said of Norwich. Another pathetic season for them. Yeah, we chat about getting battered everywhere they go with some teams, and some teams chat about us, but Norwich literally are getting battered everywhere they go, and they'll probably continue to do that if they keep coming back in the Premier League. It's just ridiculous at how bad they've been. Now, you might think I've gone with Watford at 18th. I've gone with Southampton. Southampton, 18th. Well, they finished 15th. Their fans are not happy. Some of their fans want Hasenhuttl out. They lost to 4 in their last 5. They only just about finished on 40 points. But this happened last season as well. Like, you started off really well. You thought Europe was happening, and then you fall off. They were giving it the big one when they beat us. Fair play. Why not? You beat us in FA Cup. You beat us at home. Well, we were at home, deservedly so. The thing is with Hasenhuttl, he does have some tactical nous, but sometimes he tends to, I don't know, tends to just do some weird things with his tactics sometimes. Like, I just don't know. It just feels like maybe it's just not going to work. Because I know Hasenhuttl was ambitious. I know Southampton are an ambitious club. Their recruitment's actually quite good. But where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? I do not know. And I think a lot of people are predicting Watford to go down, but in my opinion, Watford have enough to stay up there. Why did I say Watford have enough to stay up? Why did I say that? Why did I say Watford have enough to stay up? I said Ngakia would have a good season in that video. I said Foster and Troy Deeney were good Premier League experience. Ben Foster did all right, but Troy Deeney went to Birmingham. And Watford went straight back down. Watford aren't even that much of a yo-yo club, but they're becoming it. Ben Foster's leaving, his contract's ending, and Ngakia, you shouldn't have left West Ham, mate. You and your Asian were all cocky at the time. Thought you were bigger than West Ham, and then you went Watford and got relegated. So there's karma for you. Hassan and Kamara probably leave. They've got this Forest Green Rovers manager. Are they actually going to give him time? This is the problem with these kind of clubs. They're going to keep doing this if they're not run properly. Watford is not run properly. So yeah, I predicted Watford to finish fucking 17th, and I predicted Southampton to get relegated. This is not a good start. I'm telling you that. 16th, Burnley. Burnley underneath Stoke. Like, they don't really do much. They're kind of just there. I think a lot of us thought Burnley would just get out of it. But Burnley finished 18th. I predicted them 16th. 2 places off again. What is the point? This is what happens when you... I know Burnley fans are not going to like this, but this is what happens when you do such short nights. You can go on and run a form under an interim manager, but you're always going to have the new manager bounce. But I reckon Dyche would have got them out of it. Like, come on, man. And I'm hearing rumours with Vincent Kompany. I don't know about this. It just feels like a big name with these ex-players. I think Kompany could do a couple more years in Belgium just to gain a bit more experience. He doesn't need to go Burnley right now. But then again, I think he'll become a good manager. Then they're gonna have to have a big overhaul. And Burnley going down is weird because they always just stay up. They haven't gone down since 2014-15, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I reckon they won't get promoted this time. I reckon they'll tail off a bit. They might get promoted in a couple of seasons, but maybe not this season in the Championship. Originally, I had Crystal Palace to get relegated as soon as I heard Patrick Vieira was going to be their manager. But I think they'll finish 15th purely because I think there are teams that are worse than them. I don't know much about Patrick Vieira's style of football, but I've heard he does want to play out from the back as well, which is also risky. When teams like this play out from the back, you need good players on the ball. I'm not totally... Crystal Palace at 15th was not bad because it's a mid-table finish, and I did say Patrick Vieira. I did say I had them originally relegated because of Patrick Vieira, and I do need to explain that point a bit more. I didn't know much about Patrick Vieira as a manager. They were also linked to, at the time, Nuno Espirito Santo and Frank Lampard. And I just thought, because you have 4 players and, like, everyone was running out of contracts, how was you going to, like, catch on in the Premier League? Like, and with this big overhaul and a new style of play, Patrick Vieira has done a wonderful job. Now, I did say Mark Gahey would be a good signing in that video. Joachim Andersen has improved on the ball. They've signed Conor Gallagher. I said good signing, got it right. Probably one of the players of the season this year. But yeah, third place at Palace. 12th isn't bad, to be fair, because there was only, I don't know, there was still 8 points between them and Southampton at 15th. Maybe it wasn't that good, but I don't think it was a bad prediction in the end, if I'm honest. So they'll carry on. It's a good project there in South London. 14th, Newcastle. Despite their terrible ownership, I think Newcastle will actually be in a better position than people think, because I think it's natural to be pessimistic when you have that ownership. I'm starting to realise how hard it is to predict the mid-table of the Premier League, because Newcastle finishing 14th is a bit mad. And I thought they were going to do that with Steve Bruce, but they finished 4 points above 14th in 11th. Newcastle have done really well. I didn't think Mike Ashley would leave. Didn't think he'd sell. He sold to a good owner, and they're going to invest. And we as West Ham fans have got to watch out for them next season. Eddie Howe's done a great job. I don't know about Manager of the Year. I'd back my manager to get Manager of the Year, but I just don't see Newcastle slipping up. I see them carrying on with this project, and they'll probably do very well, if I'm completely honest with you. Brighton 13th, and I think I'm mainly basing it off the fact that they need to learn from last season. I didn't expect a top half finish from Brighton because I didn't know how clinical they would be. They finished 5 points above where I predicted them. They finished 9th when I predicted them to finish 13th. They didn't get the striker that they needed, but Danny Welbeck has been on form. I even complimented Danny Welbeck in the video, and he scored against us on the last day of the season. Cheers, Welbeck. He scored some crucial goals, to be fair. He scored at Stamford Bridge last minute as well. He scored against Leeds. He's got some crucial goals. Played a big part in that Man United game where they battered Man United 4-0. Eventually, you're still going to have to get a striker because Danny Welbeck has an injury record. No Mopai can participate. Trossard has had a great season. Mwepu has come into his own. Bissouma, Lamptey's not played that much actually, but it's like the few appearances he's made, easing back in after that big injury, he's actually played well. Kukurea and Bissouma played really well. Adam Webster, I like Adam Webster. Really good centre-back. Lewis Dunk always going under the radar, doing his job. Joel Veltman put in a shift this season. I don't rate their keeper that much. I do think their keeper makes too many errors, Sanchez, in his distribution, but I see why he's there. They want to play out from the back. I get it, but I don't rate him that much. And, yeah, there could be another team that we need to watch out for, if I'm honest. There's a lot of teams we need to watch out for as West Ham fans, if I'm talking from a West Ham fan perspective. I reckon the Wolves are a bit of a... Like, it could go anywhere. It could go anywhere for them. They could be competing back for Europe. I highly doubt it. Wolves finished 3 points above where I predicted them, and 2 places above where I predicted them as well. They finished 10th, I predicted them to finish 12th. I said they could compete for Europe, and they did compete for Europe, but fell off right at the end. No wins in their last 5. And, yeah, I don't know where this project's going. I know a lot of their fan base are split on the manager. It's hard when someone like Nuno spent so long there, built something so long there. It's like, for example, if we bin Moyes off and got another manager in, we'd be fucked. Like, it's pretty much like that. So fair play to Wolves, but I don't really know what they need to fix. I reckon they'll probably have to reinvest because people like Neves might leave. But I reckon he'll stay. Unpopular opinion, I reckon he'll stay. I don't know who's going to come in for him. That's why I think he will stay. 11th, I think it will be Everton. The morale in that club is already a bit low, but Rafa Benitez managing Everton is just a bit stupid. I predicted Everton at 11th. They finished 16th. I've always said that Everton are a bit of an overrated club where everyone thinks they're going to go for top 6 every time just because they did a long time ago under the manager we have, David Moyes. And they always think they're up there. They're up there. You're down there. You're down there with Frank Lampard, and you're going to have to be careful next season. Your business is shady. Your owners are still shit. You've still got Dele Alli. I know you performed well at the end. And people like Alex Iwobi and Mason Holgate and these dusty players. But they won't carry on. Everton, man, it is what it is. This has been a terrible season. Like, I wanted you lot to go down. But you might go down next year. But anyway, let's hope that Fat Frank can keep you up, eh? Alright. At 10th is the club that I support. I said West Ham. Now, I was actually really struggling between 10th and 6th on what clubs to put in, and you'll see what clubs I put above West Ham in a minute, up to the 6th place. I'm putting us 10th because I don't think we're going to invest that much in the transfer window, and we still have 1 striker, which is ridiculous with that. Now, I don't know whether people were surprised that I predicted my own club to finish 10th after the previous season we had West Ham United, but we finished 7th in the Conference League spots, 1 win in our last 5. The Europa League took a toll on us, and we bottled Europa League places. A dreadful performance at the Amex Stadium, and yeah. Oh my god! Like, listen. The thing is with this, yeah. I'm seeing all these transfer rumours, and I'm thinking, I don't want to get sucked in. I really do not want to get sucked in, but 14 losses and 16 wins, like, it's not good enough. But hopefully we can build a next season, because all the teams that have Europe, I reckon we could come above teams like Arsenal. But it's teams like Leicester, Brighton, Wolves, Newcastle, Palace, Aston Villa that could all overtake us. So we could finish easily in mid-table next season, and I wouldn't be surprised. I would be appalled because we need to set new standards for ourselves because we want the next level. Let's go for the next level. Let's criticise. Let's be allowed to criticise in our fan base. But a lot of West Ham fans don't want to criticise just because we finished in a relegation battle a couple of years ago. That means we can't criticise now. But anyway, each to their own, I guess. 9th, Aston Villa. I don't think they'll be at 6. I was slightly believing the hype when they got Danny Ings, but losing Jack Grealish is it's a big part of where they're going to finish next season. It's kind of like they were relying on him too. I predicted Aston Villa to finish 9th. They finished 14th. I thought they did good business with Leon Bailey and Danny Ings. Should have mentioned they're both injury prone. Emi Buendia's been here and there. Like, I think he's a bit overhyped. He's good on the ball and he's a bit skillful, don't get me wrong, but every time I watch him, he puts in a very good performance, then puts in a bad performance, and then Gerrard says that Coutinho and Buendia can't play together, and then they play together against City, and they do well against City, and then they bottle it right at the end because their defence is... I'm kind of glad West Ham didn't go in for Lucas Digne in the end because of the amount of times I've seen him just come off with an injury. I don't know whether they'll keep Matt Target. I reckon he'll go to Newcastle. Matty Cash is a great player. What a player they have, Matty Cash. I think he signed a new contract as well. Jacob Ramsey's sensational. What a sensational player. I love watching him. Brilliant player. And they signed Philippe Coutinho and Boubacar Kamara. So, yeah, Villa are serious, but the jury is out on Stevie G. Steven Gerrard, will he carry them to Europa League places? I don't know. I doubt it. At 8th, Leeds. I think Leeds are a very good team. Not much depth, but Marcelo Bielsa, a good coach. They'll concede a lot of goals though, I reckon, because probably one of the worst predictions on the list is when you predict Leeds to finish where I predicted them to finish. Oh my god. I really like the 10 places away. They finished 17th. They finished 17th. Wait, 9 places. My maths has gone. But, yeah, 1 win in the last 5, but that 1 win was crucial in the end. Sacking Bielsa. I mean, we'll see if that is a good decision in the end. Jesse Marsh kept them up, just about. Went to the last day, very excited. I like some of their team as well. I'm kind of glad they're staying up because, as cocky as some of their fans are, they haven't been in the Premier League for that long recently. And you want them teams that haven't been in the Premier League for that long to keep being in the Premier League because we get different teams instead of like the West Broms, etc. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to do in January. I mean in the summer. I don't know what they're going to do, but we'll see. We'll see from here, but they'll probably be in around the same place next season as well, I think. I'm going to go with Spurs. Now, the reason why I'm going with them was I reckon Harry Kane will stay, but I don't reckon his head will be in the right place. Obviously, they've got Nuno Espirito Santos as a new manager. I don't think there was any point of sacking Jose Mourinho when like about 15 managers reject you. But at the end of the day, they have a good enough players to score a bunch of goals, but their defence looks shocking. Another awful prediction is predicting Tottenham to finish 7th. And to be honest with you, I didn't expect them to get Conte. 4 wins in their last 5, and the draw was against Liverpool. That's not bad at all. They got Antonio Conte. It looks like he's gonna get a big war chest, which is a problem for the league, to be honest with you. They can cement themselves as a top 3 club with this kind of manager. They probably won't do anything in the Champions League because of not only their European record, but they're going to need to buy another front 3 just to rotate a bit with Son, Kane and Kulusevski because they can't play the same team every week. I don't know whether... I think Bergwijn's going to go. I think Lucas will stay. People like Reguilon, I don't think is rated. I think he likes Sessegnon. get the best out of Seth done. Fuck knows whether Emerson or Doherty are going to stay. Eric Dyer, is he going to stay? He had a good season as well. Christian Romero is an amazing signing. I said in the video that Christian Romero needed a partner. Turns out he just needed 3 at the back. But then again, Christian Romero was actually performing before Conte came in. He was actually one of the few players that put in some good performances. I watched him live when we beat Tottenham 1-0. He was actually one of the few players that were up for it. Like, him and Dyer didn't even play that bad, if I'm completely honest with you. So him and Antonio had a really good battle that day. Like, they both outstrengthened each other. They had a good battle that day. So Tottenham could be a problem for the league if they do spend. Their fans are getting giddy. Their fans are coming at us now. They're just let them be on their high horse, because they pretend that they don't care about us, but then they love to get their drafts out on Twitter. So you never know what Tottenham fans are like. They could fall off, or they could be competing for the title again, like they were under Pochettino. But yeah, don't be surprised if Tottenham end up competing soon and ending their trophy drought because of Antonio Conte. He's a very good manager, so I don't think he should be undermined, and I don't think they should be undermined either. At 6, I'm saying Arsenal. I was one of the few people that actually put Arsenal in the top 6 in my predictions. I saw a lot of people say 7th and 8th again. They couldn't do it without European football. They couldn't. They had no excuses to not finish in a European place without European football. But a lot of fans say this is progress. Like, even people like Chris MD are saying this is progress. You finish 8th twice. Arsenal are not meant to finish 8th twice. They're meant to be the Arsenal they have to call themselves. A team that used to compete for titles all those years ago. A team that used to finish 4th. We used to not me, but people used to meme Arsenal for finishing 4th every year. And the fact that they weren't that good. And the standards were that Wenger wasn't taking them to the next level. The next level, as he used to say a lot. But now they're happy because their academy players are playing well under a young manager, and I think it's all a bit too much because it just seems a lot of PR, the chants that we've got the best young team in the world and all that stuff that they're giving on camera. Do not do drugs in the football toilets, people. But Arsenal fans, you need to give your head a wobble, because you guys have finished in the Europa League spaces before, and that is what got you 8th. You need to spend like you did last summer if you're going to finish in Europa League places or in the top 4. Then you should be at least finishing for top 4, if not going for titles, because you're meant to be the Arsenal. You big up yourselves all the time. You're a very cocky club. You're a very sensitive fan base. And it's really not my problem. I reckon you could fall off again to 8th place again. And you need to look at what your rivals are doing, like Tottenham, because they've got Conte. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you can't let Tottenham just run away like that. You can't let Chelsea reinvest. You can't let Man United have Ten Hag and they could potentially be back. I don't know whether they'll be back soon, but they could be. You need to watch them 3 clubs. They're meant to be your competition. But you're not doing anything. You still got Mikel Arteta. He knows exactly what you need and all of that stuff. But yeah, big up. You're going to finish 8th again, in my opinion. So unless you invest heavily. But I was actually 1 place off. That's not a bad prediction in my opinion. But there are some worse predictions in this video, trust me. At 5th, none other than Leicester. I predicted Leicester to finish 5th because I thought they'd finish 5th, because they finished 5th 2 seasons before, and I thought they'd do it again. They finished 8th. And they did only just finish 4 points below us in the end, to be fair to them. They lost the same amount of games as us. And 3 wins in their last 5. They got knocked down by Roma in the Conference League. They did have a good time in the Europa League. It was awful. And I kind of feel for them in a way. I don't, because they've had probably a bit like Leeds, so many injuries. Like, Fofana got injured in pre-season. Yeah, that's been their main injury, but they've had even people like Soyuncu and Vestergaard have fell off. Vestergaard and Samare are up for sale, by the way. Bubakari Samare. They just signed them. That's how. Clearly, Rodgers doesn't fancy some of these players. I don't know where you go from here. I'm getting battered by your Midlands rivals, Nottingham Forest, in the FA Cup. Terrible, and they might get promoted as well. I'm sure you don't want that. So, I don't know where you go from here. I reckon probably keep Rodgers. There's no one else out there for our type of like caliber team. So, is what it is. But I reckon you'll be back for competing for European places next year. Liverpool I put fourth. The reason why I put them fourth is because they don't have enough depth. Another awful prediction is predicting Liverpool to come fourth, but I wasn't the only one to do it. I didn't think Van Dijk would be the same. I didn't think they'd just get back to normal because they had an awful season. I thought maybe this would be a transition, the buzzword that loves to be used in football. They were amazing. I said they had no depth in that clip as well. Fuck me. They have a lot of depth now. Their attacking depth is unreal. And they've got Fabio Carvalho now. They've signed this right back from Aberdeen as well. I think they've just missed out on Chouameni as well. So I'll be looking for a midfielder. Maybe Sangare from PSV or Bissouma, maybe. I'm not sure. But Liverpool have done really well this season. They could potentially win the Champions League. 3 trophies for them. Nothing against Liverpool. I have no qualms for Liverpool. So, big up to them. They finished second. And yeah, them and Man City setting the bar as usual. That's what Man City and Liverpool do. They set the bar for this league, and it's clear to say they are levels ahead of everyone else. Alright, at third, I've said Man United. I still think after the business of Rafael Varane and Jadon Sancho, they still need to do a bit more business. I think I said the Aston Villa one or the Brentford one was one of the worst predictions in the list, but thinking that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United was going to finish third, and why did I say third? I thought they would live off moments again because I don't rate people like Fernandes. I thought Maguire was an okay centre back. I thought he had a good Euros. He'll carry on. He didn't. I thought Luke Shaw would carry on from his Euros form. He didn't. Maybe they're just suited to international football a bit more. I don't rate people like Scott McTominay. Fred has improved because he's playing in a position where he has more license to go forward. And fair play to Fred. He's Brazilian again. Paul Pogba leaving for Juventus again. Paul Pogba, man. Come on, you got to go to like Madrid or PSG if the offers are there. I want to see Pogba ball out. I like Pogba. But yeah, the treatment of Paul Pogba is awful, by the way, in their fan base. You're booing him off when you have people like McTominay and Maguire. We got to get behind Maguire because he got booed by England and all that. Well, what a load of bollocks. Another delusional fan base. But at least you got Erik ten Hag now. And you're going to have to back him. You're going to have to be patient with him. Good style of football. Just be patient with him and you'll see good football. If you watch the Champions League in 2018-19, you'll know why that is a good managerial signing, because and the way he speaks as well. I've never heard a voice so deep in my life. And yeah, he just seems like a demon that is gonna be so strict with the players, and he wants a particular style of player. He likes youth players as well. He likes to get the best out of youth. Hopefully we see more of that as well. I would like to see if he wants to include some youth prospects, if they're good enough. I would like to see what he does in the Premier League. I really hope. A part of me kind of hopes that, I don't even like Man United, but part of me hopes they back him, because I want to see Ten Hag's football in the Premier League. I want to see how he does in the Premier League. But they're in the Europa League as well. I think Erik ten Hag lost to Man United in the Europa League final. I think he was manager of Ajax then. I could be wrong though. When Mourinho beat him. But yeah, shit season for Man United, but you should be happy that you got Erik ten Hag. At number 2, I put Man City. Now, as good as the signing of Jack Grealish is, that could easily win them the title. And now we get on to the last 2 predictions. Can you guess if I got either of them right? You've already seen the clip. I got neither of them right. So we'll start off with the fact that I predicted Man City to finish second. Yeah, what was I thinking? I thought that the false nine thing wouldn't work. A couple of City fans thought that as well. And I thought not getting Harry Kane again, Grealish instead, was a bit unneeded. But Grealish will come good. People like Grealish will come good. You got to give people a chance in Pep's system from the first year. Morris didn't have a good first year. Bernardo Silva didn't have the best of first years. Rodri didn't have a good first year. People like that, you got to give people a chance. They've signed Erling Haaland. Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell. It's going to be hard to defend against him. I'm not looking forward to if Haaland plays against West Ham. He's got a bit of an injury record, but they've got Julian Alvarez as well, this Argentinian guy. So I'm assuming this guy must be good because Man City don't buy shit players. And the scouting is unbelievable, a well-run club, and I predicted them to finish second. Awful from myself. And at first, in that other two-horse race, I put Chelsea. They're outside Lukaku. All they needed was goals. Like, that's all they really needed. All they needed was goals, and Romelu Lukaku will get you goals. Oh my god, this video is awful in terms of, not the quality of the video in my opinion, but the predictions. I said that Romelu Lukaku was the missing piece towards Chelsea and said that he was going to, like, just score goals. You're going to get goals from Romelu Lukaku. All of the chat from Lukaku, all of the chat from the Chelsea fans, only for him to do an interview, spoil the morale of the club, the ownership to go tits up because of what's happening in Ukraine, contracts to go right to the end, Rudiger leaving, Christensen leaving, Marcus Alonso saying puta madre to Tuchel. This has been a mess for Chelsea. It's been a mess. Thank fuck they didn't win the title as well. I'm glad we beat them 3-2 because that's when they probably would have fell off anyway, but that's when they stopped that's when they got a third that day, and they've been third ever since. A couple threats of maybe finishing top four, not finishing in top four, but they finished 5 points out of Arsenal and 3 points out of Tottenham. They just about edged it. I don't know what they're going to do next season. They're going to have a massive rebuild. Contracts coming up for next year. Jorginho and Kante have got 1 year left. Will Gallagher play a part? Will Gilmour play a part? Will Ampadu play a part? Who are they going to loan out? Is Lukaku going to stay? There's too many questions in that squad. They'll be competing for top four next season. Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, and Man United will probably go in a four-way race. And that's what it's looking right now. But things can change. You never know. But that is the end of the video. And what an awful, awful predictions video. Next year, I don't think I got one. I didn't get one. I need to get at least one next season, because that was absolutely awful. It took me a long time to make this video, so if you guys did enjoy, leave a like, share, subscribe, please, because I'm trying to grow the channel and it's very hard to grow this kind of channel. So please, oh God, please just share everywhere. What an awful video. What an awful video. I'll see you guys later. Tomorrow I don't know what video there'll be, but there'll be a few daily videos.